Hey, what's up everybody? Robert184, gundam.tk, and I'm here with my predictions for which master grades will Bandai release in the year 2011. And just for clarification, that's going to count from April of 2011 until March of 2012, because come the new year, we already know what's going to get released up to March. But anyway, without further ado, and a brief note that you can go check out my results on my 2010 predictions with the previous video, but here are my picks for next year. I am unabashed. So here we go, and I'm going to try to keep my picks that were on the 2010 list to a minimum, despite the fact that I all thought they had a legitimate shot. Only a few of them will be reappearing. So first is the Master Grade Delta Plus, which I think we're going to get from the Unicorn OVA. It made a little cool it had a little cool cameo at the end of episode 2. Episode 3 will be coming out too soon, so I don't think it's going to get a March or April release. But anyway, probably October. I think that has a legitimate shot because a long time ago, even before the anime version was announced, Bandai had a survey on their website in Japanese for which unicorn suits do you want to see get a master grade, and that finished in #1. So I think that if the pilot makes a good impression on everybody, that has a legitimate shot for this year. Now, a recycled one here, I think the V2 Gundam will finally get its due after the V1, depending on how well the V1 Dash sold and stuff like that. But the V2 Gundam really does deserve a lot of love, and in Gundam vs. Gundam, it's quite a popular suit, more so than the V1. So the fact that we got the V1 means we should get a V2, it's just a question of when. Next, we're going to have the Nataku from the OVA and movie Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. And that's simply going after the Death Scythe pattern, where we got the Death Scythe from the manga, and then you're going to get the OVA one coming up in February. So I think that the Nataku will follow the same pattern, and I won't be upset at all if that happens. Next up after that, another recycle. Well, you see the 00 Quanta right there in front of you. Well, it has a frame, and on the sprues it said 00 inner frame or something to that effect, which means we will be getting a 00 riser. When is it going to happen? 2011, or so says I. And here's G Savior, just again reminding me about making bold predictions. Running through the rest, a few easy ones. The Jin X4, which made an appearance at some of the hobby shows earlier as being under consideration. If the Jin X sold well and it's considering a Jin X4, it would be cool to have a suit from the movie. And Smirnov and everything, Patrick, of course, just made a great impact in that suit. I'd actually get a 4, even though I had no interest in the #1. Next up, following along Gundam Wing, I'm going to say that the Heavy Arms will be the next most popular. It's popular in the game Gundam vs. Gundam, so hopefully it gets its due in a Master Grade form. And now I'm starting to get into a few more obscure ones. Let's go with the O Gundam. If only because it's an Amuro suit, it looks so classic, takes the old design, gives it a modern twist, and I think that that wouldn't be a very difficult master grade, and nor would it be a large size one, so it's something at a nice price point. And I'm stepping on a limb here a little bit, but we will be getting a Unicorn full armor version, the one where it has the 3 shields, the bazookas, and the Gatling guns. It's just a question of, I figured it would come out when it actually shows up in the anime with the green inner frame. However, I think Bandai may milk that cow a little bit early, so it could make an appearance this year. Perhaps that's just wishful thinking. Continuing with some wishful thinking, how about the Master Grade Seed Destiny? Seed doesn't get a lot of love. I don't think we're ever going to get a Justice or things like that, but Legend was on the survey of the top 30 that Bandai was looking at and looking for fan input. I think Legend has a shot just to complete the Seed Destiny lineup, and it would look pretty awesome. Don't hold your breath for Providence, although I'd like that too. But continuing with newer suits, not a lot of UC on here for me, but I'm going to say Zabanya, and the reason I say that is just because after the 00 Quanta, if the Master Grade sold well, the Zabanya and the other movie kits don't have 1/100th non-grades, so rather than Caradam, I think it would be Zabanya that gets the next shot, and then depending on how well that sells, Harut and Raphael may follow. And in the 00 line, the Susanoo, which was, Graham is an incredibly popular character here, talking with fans, etc. And I really think that the Susanoo is a great kit that missed out on a 1/100th non-grade, and may get that remedied in a 1/100th, and that also leads some possible redo possibilities for the Brave, again depending on how well the high grade sold. And my final pick, I'm only going to put down 12 for the year, is the Marasai. Why? Because it does continue along the line of Zaku's. People here are crazy about the Zaku line. Zaku 3, of course, would be nice, but I think Zeta just has the edge in popularity over Double Zeta, of course. So the Marasai, with its red Zaku-ness, could be my dark horse pick for 2011. Something worth noting, though, is something I talked about earlier, is that the Master Grade line is being diluted into real grades 1, 1/48, and the Figurize line. So anyway, we're not going to be getting as many Master Grades, I think. 12 is probably a little bit optimistic, perhaps. But what about some of the other lines? Well, I'm going to throw in my picks. We are going to get a real grade green Zaku, I'm sure. My next choice after that is going to be the Mark II, and then my next choice after that, I don't think Unicorn will get one, but it would be something from 00. So I'm going to call the 00 Gundam or the Quanta, or even Exia if they go the Super Highcom line as the 4th release in the real grade line. And for perfect grades, well, there you see it right before you. I think we're going to get a perfect grade 00 Quanta. It would complete the 00 series. Bandai doesn't have to do a lot of new work. It can come in at a nicer price point than the Riser and the Strike Freedom. And I think perfect grade Unicorn is a few years away. So there's high grade G Savior. Remember, this kit is so awesome. It doesn't show up in the Gunpla Bibles. But anyway, that's there to remind me that if you haven't seen my previous video, for 2011, I literally called 0 correctly. 0, not 1. So take all of these things with a grain of salt and let me know what you think down below. Hopefully I'll be back with a follow-up with this, and my grade will be a little bit higher than a G Savior. Maybe I'll even work my way up to a first grade Virtue or something like that. But that's just my speculation. Love to hear what you think about the Master Grade, Perfect Grade, Real Grades. Throw in HG if you like. All sorts of good stuff coming, hopefully, from the God and X series. So anyway, this is Robert184, gundam.tk. As always, thanks for watching and thanks for your comments, because without those, what's the point? Love to hear from you guys. And stay tuned for lots more, including, let me just leave you with this hint, 32. See you next time. You know, I hoped that I would never have to pull this model out for a video ever again.